Hey guys, it's me, Troy Dellinger, and today I'm going to be talking about um, the teachings of grace, and I'm going to start out with the history of grace. That grace was biblical teachings, and the one of the very first conflicts we see with the doctrine of grace happens during the Pelagian Augustine conflict, and I talked about Augustine, and I talked about how he was in a conflict with Pelagius because Pelagius taught that we didn't. Um, the accusation was that we didn't need grace. Augustine standing for that we needed grace, and that there is the sinful nature. And I talked about before how there's truth and error mixed in with these two teachings. Um, and how this was center for church history. And, so to make a long story short, a lot of churches are abusing the grace of God. We have work salvation, which is like Pelagianism, which says that, we don't need grace, that, it's work salvation, it's all works, and we don't need Christ. We don't need what the cross did for us, which is heresy, work salvation. The Bible says we're saved by grace through faith. That's an obvious foundation to Christian doctrine. But then we got this other camp. We got the easy believers, false teachers that really all started with Augustine and goes into Calvinism and all the churches today that we see in the evangelical church, which teaches that grace is a license to sin, that we have grace so we can do whatever we want. We don't gotta work. We don't gotta do anything. We just believe Jesus. We can live in sin. We can live like the devil. We can live like pagans, and you got to have a balance. Okay, so the Bible does say we're teach by saved by grace through faith. The Bible says faith by works is dead. That's what I stand for on this channel. And if you got a problem with what I believe, then you can unsubscribe for this channel, because I got on one camp, the work salvationist calling me a heretic because I believe we're saved by grace through faith and not by works, and which is what the Bible says. And I'm called by heretics, by easy believers, because I believe that if we're saved by grace, then it produces works. Faith without works is dead, according to James 2. And those are the doctrines that I hold on to, and that's what I believe the Bible says, and that's what I'm going to come on this channel, and I'm going to defend the truth. And if you got a problem with what me talking about what the Bible says, you can unsubscribe. Okay, but I think it's important that we have a balance. And I talked about how Augustine was heavily influenced by Gnosticism. Okay, and that really these false teachers that abuse the grace of God, and teach we can do whatever we want, that it all started with Augustine. And I'm going to talk more, Lord willing, about grace in another video. Thank you for watching.